Hi, good evening, Pearson.
Tell us a bit more about the global impact of this technological mishap.
We have the two major suppliers, Microsoft and also the antivirus provider. And in this part of the market, especially for enterprises and critical infrastructures, you can definitely understand that if those solutions are deployed across many of the areas across the world, they're going to be affected, especially those running the particular feature of the device itself. So you would have seen again airports, hospitals, governments, any systems that use that combination of software will definitely have that particular issue.
Could you shed some light on how could a company like CrowdStrike, a major technological company, issue such a faulty update?
Um, if you think about a risk that occurs very quickly, usually companies try to get updates as quick as much as possible. Some of them as little as 5 minutes. So the ability to produce these files and retrain systems very quickly to mitigate a particular threat. Something like this that can easily happen. A file can easily be corrupted, etc.
This update has impacted many services to many companies and many people globally. Is there anything you think that could have been done to reduce the widespread impact of this error?
Um, It's a very difficult one. Usually, some companies would, in a general patch, would apply a patch on a single or so or test machines just to make sure. In this particular case, as long as when it comes to security, you want that quick effect to be able to defeat, let's say, a particular adversary attacking the system. In this particular case, the best thing that any company can do, or any enterprise can do, is have the necessary data resilience strategies in place where you can actually do a one-point click and restore the system as quickly as possible. Um, this is the only way you can defeat something like this. If you have a large team and you can wait and test these updates slowly, then it's fine. But in many cases, that's not the case.
This problem seems to have impacted mostly larger suppliers of services. Have been smaller businesses also been impacted by this update?
We haven't seen it, and the reason for this is CloudStrike, like Palo Alto, and so many other large companies. They serve companies looking at, let's say, like licenses 2 or 500 or 1,000 and above. So you can definitely see large companies that carries a high value or very high level of risk that cannot afford to be done. Will be using again companies like this here. So hence the reason why if it was like a smaller company, like smaller antivirus that plays a major state in small, medium, and large size business, this problem would have been catastrophic.
From your view, you sit as an expert on this, how long do you think it would take for those companies impacted to recover from this problem?
I think majority companies should be back up by now. It's just some of those companies that have to respond, have ICT agents respond to them, which might need to go on site, look at each particular machine and recover them. So again, unlike Barbados, where you might have like 100 or so machines, there are many places that have close to 1,000 or even more machines that would have been affected. Agents on Windows machines. So critical systems would be obviously take priority first, and then everything right down to the user machine would then would be recovered, depending on where that priority would be.
Edward Millington, cybersecurity expert, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.